Hey Slay Squad, Yandel here, and today I want to talk about 3 really cool resources that you could use via Google. That you guys need to stop sleeping on Google and get the work done. Because what happens is a lot of time we get caught up in the money. I don't have money to pay for a phone service provider or to get an extra cell phone for my business so I could take calls. I don't have extra money to pay additional money for a private email in my domain name or a forwarding email in my domain name. I don't have extra money to pay for this software so that I could get my contract signed. Blase, blase, blase. I used to have a boss that would tell me, don't tell me the problem, tell me the solution. And when he told me that, I didn't like it, but it was true. So I'm about to tell you how Google can be your solution. So if you are just starting out in business, or if you are a mompreneur on a budget and you're trying to save every little dime that you can save, then please use Google to your advantage. So 10 years ago, a whole decade ago, when I started my first business, it was very, I don't even know the word. It was like not okay. People would push it that it was not okay to have your business name at Yahoo or Hotmail or wherever.com, that you should have a domain name for your business name. So for example, my business was queensofwigs.com. So my email was yandel@queensofwigs.com. So I paid extra money annually for that service. So the reason I was coached and it was trained to me that makes it seem that you're legit. But in this day and age, you do not have to have an email name in your domain name. It does not make you any more legit. I'm going to be straight up with you. I know people that are making 6 figures and 7 figures and they have an @gmail.com. And I know people that have their business in their domain name and they're making $0.com. So it just, if you want to get caught up in that for branding, go ahead and get caught up in that. But if you're here to save your coins, please continue to keep on listening. So Google has a lot of resources. So sign up. If an email is what's keeping you back, go ahead and sign up your business name at gmail.com. You can always later upgrade to inyourdomainname.com, but don't let not having an email be the reason that you can't get started. So go ahead and get started with Google, and I think you'll end up loving it so much that you just go stay with them. Okay, so another feature through Google that a lot of people sleep on is Google Voice. So it costs money to have a 1-800 number, a 188 number, or to take out a cell phone number, or to call Comcast, Xfinity, whatever your home service provider or business phone service provider would be, and to have to pay extra money for a phone line when you're just getting started. So if you want to put on your business card a number, but you want to separate business from personal, then get a Google Voice number. It is free. It's absolutely free. So you could get a Google Voice number. It's going to link to your email. So the cool thing is, and when people call the number, it's going to come directly onto your phone. But the cool thing is that with Google Voice, they have a feature when you pick up, it'll say you have a call coming from, so you know it's a business related call. Also, when you want to return the call, you can log into your Gmail, check the voicemail, and you can call them back, and it will dial it on your cell phone, but your cell phone number will never be revealed unless you call them directly from the cell phone without thinking, right? So you have to be careful with that. But if it's free, I think that it's definitely worth it. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize with Google is that through Google Voice, you can actually send text messages. So, when you're setting up an email marketing campaign, and sometimes you have the option through MailChimp, you can now collect phone numbers. So let's say you wanted to text your subscribers about a special or something, or subscribers that subscribe to a webinar, and you wanted to remind them, you could use Google Voice to send those text messages now, and the number that you register registered the business with via Google Voice, that's the number that will come up, not your personal number. Okay. But before I move on, I want to say something when it comes to mixing business, keeping business and personal information separate. I do not believe in giving your personal cell phone number out and whatnot. Keep it separate. Create the Google Voice account. However, I want you to keep in mind that I believe there's a feature. I haven't been playing around with it in a long time, but I think there's a feature where you could cut off call times. So like, let's say somebody's in a different time zone and they call you at midnight your time, your phone won't ring. Let's say if your time frame to accept calls via Google Voice is at 8 p.m. at night. So you just have to go in and set up those features. The last time I checked, it was like that. Don't quote me on it if it changed, but I don't know why they would take that feature away. But last time that was all part of the free feature. Also, you could have special voicemail messages for specific seasons. Like, you really have to go in and check out all the features that come with Google Voice. The last thing I want to say about Google Voice is with the text messaging, the text messages do still come to your phone, but the way that I separate my personal and the business is that they come through the Google Voice app. So you can turn your notifications off at a certain time if you're getting a lot of text messages. But I feel like the pros outweigh the cons, and it's still definitely worth it, because I remember trying to pay like $30 a month for a 1-800 service, and it was not even worth it. And once I found Google Voice, I was not paying a dime for a phone number. So check out Google Voice. So far we went over 2. Use Gmail and use Google Voice. Number 3 is through Google, you have Google Drive. And through Google Drive, you have Google Docs, which is equivalent to like Microsoft Word. You have Google Slides, equivalent to Microsoft PowerPoint. And you have Google, what is it called? Sheets, which would be about the equivalent to Microsoft Excel. And all of these through Google on the Drive, you can use all of these documents, and you can download them so that they're compatible with Microsoft, or you can download them as PDFs. But what gets even better with this, you can share the documents through Google. So let's say you are a service-based business and you need to send contracts. You can send contracts through Google and have them initial the contracts. Boom, you're done. If you're a little fancier and you're like, I really want it to be a little more professional, I want to send it as a PDF and I want them to sign it, then you could still download create your contract in Google Docs, download it as a PDF, send it over in your onboarding package, and maybe suggest to them to get the contract signed. If they're trying to do it virtually or don't have time to scan, you have to remember, people don't always have all these means. They don't always have a scanner. You want to make the process simple. You could suggest to them that they could get it signed in smallpdf.com, which is another free service. I just gave you a bonus. So they'll send it back to you signed. But my favorite feature via Google Drive, Google Docs happens to be my favorite. But what I love about Google Docs is that the shared feature. So on top of contracts, I have my clients, before doing a consultation, I have them fill out a questionnaire. I want to get a feel for where they are. Or if you are doing classes and you want students to submit assignments, you could use Google Docs. And the beauty of Google Docs is that it's a live document, and whoever you share it with, you can comment and they'll see your comments. You could see their feedback. You could give them feedback. It's just a wonderful resource that you could share. On top of this, people don't realize that you could upload videos, pictures, you name it, onto your Google Drive for free. So I've used Google in the past as a backup. In the past, I would have video tutorials, and as a backup, I would share it through a private link on YouTube. But as a backup, let's say they are not able to access YouTube for whatever reason, or they can't download the tutorial or the master class, or you name it. As a backup, I would upload that video through my Google Drive, and I would have the option to share it privately with the person who was having issues. So Google is definitely resourceful and my best friend. And as a bonus, another way that you could use Google as a business tool is you could use Google Forms for a numerous amount of things. But on top of that, if you want to do your questionnaire, you could do a questionnaire via Google Forms. All the other features I've been using for years, but this year I just got introduced to Google Forms. I was working with a virtual assistant, and she was help creating something for me, and she wanted me to fill out this questionnaire via Google Forms in order to move forward. And I thought, why haven't I done this all the time? So, I hopped on it. It was so easy to use, and I hopped on it and I created a survey for my Slay Squad to fill out, for my current clients and my potential clients, to set up what's going to come next. And it's so easy, and I love everything being cohesive. This is such a great resource, guys, because everything is in one place. So just to get a recap, you can, through Google, you could set up your Gmail. Also through Google, you could use Google Voice, so set up your phone number for your business for free. And you could use their Drive to create and share documents if needed to, or just to create documents for yourself. I use Google Docs to create a lot of my blog posts and a lot of my articles that I contribute with. Even an editor I work with prefers that you use Google Docs, and then I share Google Docs with her so that she can edit my document live. So I think that's super duper cool. And as a bonus, you can use this as a feature to upload pictures and videos, and also as an additional bonus, you can use Google Forms. So everything is in one place, and there's so many other features of Google. I will be on here all day, but I've learned things as being a teacher. You could use, they have a Google Gradebook, they have a Google Classroom. Google is where it's at. I'm about to play around more. I've played around with Google Classroom literally in the classroom setting, but I'm about to play around with it even more in the business setting, because you could do classes and make assignments through Google Classroom. Guys, Google is where it's at. I'm just saying, if you want a good resource for the free 99 and to save your coins, please don't sleep on Google. So I hope this Slay session was informative and helpful for you, and I hope that it definitely helps you to save money. Comment below and let me know if you were familiar with all of these features, if you plan on using some of them, and tell me which ones. I really want to hear from you. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in, and if you want more advice and resources on free and how to do your social media. Okay, so the last thing that I was saying before I go, I hope you're enjoying our Slay sessions, and I hope they're beneficial to you. But I wanted to say that if you need assistance with slaying your social media and you want to find out all the hacks, we have a Slay Your Social Media class. So go ahead and click the link below in the description box, and you could go ahead and instantly view that class. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to slay your way. Bye-bye.